Hello, everybody. It is so fun to see so many new faces on this call tonight. Lots of new faces, the same ones that I saw today posting their cookies, or not their cookies, their bracelets, but on the Zaya active page. They have all your guys' pictures up there too today. So if you haven't gone there, go and check it out. That's always super fun. Sorry, I'm not good at multitasking, you guys. I'm letting people in the call. If you have anybody messaging you that they can't get in, please let me know. Let's go ahead and get started, you guys. We think we can get this call done in about 30 minutes. So thank you for being here. If you wouldn't mind muting your line, that just kind of gets rid of some of the background noise for everybody. We would appreciate it. Again, just seriously, if this is your first director and above call, I want you to comment in the comments to everybody and say first timer, or I'm new, or I'm so excited to be here. Let us know that you're here and you're joining us. You guys, the first thing I want to point out is something I heard the other day, that if it were easy, everybody would be on this call. If it were easy, everybody would be doing this and everybody would be on this director and above call. But you did this, whether you did this a year ago or you did this last 2 weeks ago. This is a really big deal. You are a leader in this company. It's a prestigious title in this company. And so you fought hard, you pushed through, and you did it. So seriously, I hope you all took time to relish in that and celebrate that with your teams, because it is a big deal. I was just looking on the Connect page, and Mariah Backey posted on March 10th just a few statistics, and I think they're fun. If you go to Zaya, type in Zaya by the numbers on the Connect page, you'll also be able to find these, but she put this out there on March 10th. And so at that time, there were over 70,000 reps in Zaya, and only 2,000 of those reps were directors. And on the Connect page, she also wrote that there's 2,400 reps on the Connect page, and only 119 of you were directors. Now that number has obviously shifted and changed. I think we had 49 people reach director in the Dash Director program over the last 3 months. Hey guys, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, that would be awesome. So those are crazy numbers. That just tells me, when you're adding reps to your team, what that tells me too is, don't look at it as we have 70,000 reps in Zaya, which is a small number, but they might think it's a big number. But make sure you're reiterating that number is every single rep, whether they're in it for the discount or whether they're doing it for a reason. The number of people that are actually building teams and growing is very small. And so the potential for that area of the business is absolutely ginormous. So don't just get here and be like, whew, cool, I got to director, or I got to senior director, I got to executive. Continue to push, continue to drive, and continue to dream big. Today on my team page, I posted a little graphic that showed like a roller coaster of day to day, what it looks like in this business. And it's so true. But that same roller coaster over time, the ups and downs, is still going up. And over time, you are going to see amazing things happen in this business. So just keep grinding away, keep the foot on the gas, as we always say, because it will pay off. It really will. Stepping into your role as a leader, it's a balancing act, you guys. I was on a call with Cheryl the other day, and she said, it's not just reaching out, partying, following up, and adding reps. Because she's a leader now, she's a director, she's like, it's more than that. And it absolutely is. You're going to continue to do those things, but at the same time, you're going to lead a team. But a big part of that is showing your team the way, showing your team that you're still showing up and you're still doing those things. Never fall off of that work of reaching out, partying, following up, and adding reps, because you're the example for your team. And if you're sitting back and not doing those things, they're going to want to sit back and not do those things as well. But now you're also leading. And what does that look like for you? It's being authentic. It's serving. It's loving. It's not just watching the numbers like Sav's going to talk about tonight. Don't get lost in that. You got to love your reps. You got to be there for them. You got to show them you care. And there's no lines as far as like, when do I create my own team page? When do I start doing incentives? When do I have a level one chat versus a whole team chat? You got to go with your gut on some of that. Maybe reach out to your sponsor, but there are no crystal clear lines as far as that goes. But in my opinion, it's never too soon. It's never too soon to build your small communities amongst these big communities. When I got started, I didn't know how all that worked either. Megan had her team rocking and rolling. I started a team page, and I would go live and I would talk about things that were on my heart that day. And that's just kind of how it will start. So nobody's going to tell you, okay, now you have 8 people on your team. Now you should do X, Y, and Z. You're not going to get that. You just have to go with your gut and start doing those things. Don't wait too long. If you're a team of 50, you guys, again, no clear answer here, but man, you need to have your own team page. You need to have your own team page community and those types of things happening. So I really want to point out before we take it over to Savannah C's, our newest doubles I exec. I just want to mention that it is important to know the rank advance sheets. These are always with me from the very start. I printed them in really bold paper. This set's always with me. I have other sets. If you don't know these yet, as a director and above, we want you to know these. You need to study them and you need to ask the questions because you may not understand what something means. That's okay. Just ask the questions. There are many YouTube videos that have been done talking about the rank advancements, how you rank advance in Zaya. Know this. Know this not just for you personally, but know this for your team. Because now that you're a director, your goal, besides reaching your next goal here, is getting your reps to rank advance, is helping your reps understand what's next in line for them. Actually, your next step is building directors and above. So if you don't know that aspect of your business, you're going to learn some things tonight. But remember, the groundwork is here. And I want to point out that some of us, we hit director without even knowing this. It just kind of happened. So if that happened for you, you're a team of 2 and boom, you hit director just because you're selling like a crazy person, that's awesome. But make sure you understand the numbers. And I want you to hold that title. I don't want you guys just to hit it and march and then fall off. Make it your goal to stay here and continue to rise and continue to grow your team and dig into your team and make sure your team knows, hey, if I sell $600 this month and my rep does this, I'm going to hit junior rep. Put that out in front of her. Put those carrots right there so she knows them and then she can go for them. Instill that belief in her. In the comments, I want you guys to tell me, like, did director just happen for you? And that's okay. It happens sometimes that way. You get started and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And before you know it, you're here. But if I want you to comment, did you have a plan? Did you have a plan? Did you have a map laid out? How did you get director? Just comment and let us know. Because from my experience and what I'm seeing as we continue to grow is most people do not hit this rank without a plan. It doesn't just happen by accident. It takes a plan. It takes digging in. It takes looking at the numbers. And it's really kind of comical that I am actually kicking off this call tonight because I came from a place of 7.5 years in direct sales where numbers were voodoo to me. I thought I was being creepy by looking at my team's numbers. Honest to God, it felt weird to me. I don't think anybody ever taught me that, you know what, these women and men are in this business for a reason. They're not just here to like play around. They want to do something. And we need to treat this like the business that it is. And it's okay to talk numbers. You need to know numbers. It's what drives this business. So once you have, let's 1 second here. Okay, and the last thing I want to just touch on before I turn it over to Savannah is something that Sam Higgins had told me that has kind of really stuck with me. And this was at the beginning of my coaching with him. He said, Robin, you don't want to be on stage at Summit giving a speech about whatever topic. You want to be in the front row at Summit watching your teammates on stage. And so once you can shift your mindset to, yes, I want to reach and achieve my goals, but man, it feels amazing to help your teammates reach their goals. Like once that starts to happen for you, it is going to open up the sky for like what this business means. I mean, I know you love the clothes. I know you love the community, but I'm telling you, when you start to like have a hand in that growth on your team, there's nothing like it. It's kind of like raising kids. Like it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. So I always keep that in my mind because of course I want to be successful, but watching others succeed and playing a part of that it's super cool. So without further ado, I'm going to have to figure out how to turn it over to you, Savannah. But Savannah is our newest double Zia exec on the team. What that means, as I look at my tracker, what that means, you guys, is her team is selling over $250,000 a month. She has 7 directors and above on her team. And it's freaking amazing. So a lot of hard work, a lot of diving in, a lot of heart, a lot of serving, a lot of being there for her team day in, day out. But I'm so excited for her. And so tonight she's kind of our expert when it comes to spreadsheets, numbers, being organized, marketing, and like you name it. This girl is very, very gifted, very talented, and we're so blessed to have her on our team. So I'm going to pass it off. She's going to have a ton of information. So have a pen and paper out. And then tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, if you have time, get into your back office and try digging for some of this stuff. Okay, Miss Savannah, Savannah can't tell me.
Yeah, I think you have to go to the setting, like there's host settings, something at the bottom, and it says you have to allow other people to share.
Okay, do I click on participants?
No, I think when you are the host at the bottom, there should be like some sort of settings option.
I feel like I've done it before and it was really easy. So I was hoping.
Yeah, it is. It's one of your bottom settings, but it's not under participants. And I can't see it because I'm not the host right now.
Okay.
Just then Google it, click. Is there a meeting tab?
This way I'm looking. Oh, make host. I figured out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to pass it over to you, hon.
Okay. There we go. Okay, it's going to work now. Hey, guys. Okay, so like Robin said, I'm Savannah. My day job is I'm a health informaticist for the VA hospital in Des Moines. So I'm on a computer all day. I love the data. I work with IT, so I install content for our medical record. I do the charts. I build the content that our providers use to serve our veterans. So, so that's a little bit about my background. But I want to kind of dive into the downline reports because we've had a lot of people say that they don't know how to use them. It's kind of hard to do trainings on them because you can't, you're not supposed to show numbers. It's our personal numbers, that type of thing. But we were able to get access to Zia's back office account. So we're going to use a little of that. I am going to use a little bit of my back office too, but I won't show numbers. I didn't really get my, permission from my team, obviously. So I'm just going to cover some of that stuff up. But let me share here. And I'm not going to be good at looking at the chat, but if you guys have questions, I will open up at the end and you can ask me any questions you want. Let me share.
Savannah,
yeah.
Now that you're the host, do you see if anybody's in the waiting room?
Oh, yeah, let me see. I can find it.
Yeah, because I don't see that anybody is in the
No.
waiting room, but
So
two
it's
people
not.
can't get in.
Oh. Trying to see participants, admit all. Okay, yep, there were some.
Okay,
I'll
thank
try
you.
and watch that. Okay, they should be in. So let me get out of that. Before I get started on the downline report, Megan did mention one thing that you've probably heard before, but a lot of people kind of forget, that you can email your customers in your back office. So I'm going to show you that real fast before I show you the downline report. So 1 second. Okay, so this is my actual back office, and I'm just going to order history, and it shows all your orders. But then see this right here, it says view my contact list. You click on that, it's going to show everybody in your back office, all of your customers. Now, if you just want to, you can search by a certain name, but I usually, if I'm going to email my customers, I'm going to email everybody. So I will just not do any sort of filtering, and you click this little email button. You can also use this Excel right here, and it'll export it for you into an Excel, and you can save it to your desktop. But I use this little email button, and then it brings this up. So you can see this email is going to be sent out to 535 people. So that's everybody in my back office. And it also lets you click this little button to remove people from it. This is the same thing for the downline report. You'll be able to email your team as well. So subject, write what you want. You can do attachments, and then you just send it. You do not get it sent to you. There's not a way to edit it. It's just like gone. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you wanted it to send to you. I think you actually get a copy because like I'm a customer in my own back office. So.
But if you scroll up, there's an option to send it to you. Right here where it says off, check the box.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I always get it because my email's in there. So I still get one anyways.
Okay.
But you're right. Yeah. So you can turn this on and off. Thank you. Okay. So that was just Megan wanted me to cover that real quick.
Sorry, there's more people that need to be admitted.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I'm really bad at looking at that. Just yell at me if that happens.
Okay, sorry guys.
No, you're good. I'll try and keep it on the top here.
Oopsies.
I wonder if, yeah, just yell at me. I was gonna say, I wonder if I can send it back to you since I'm sharing already. Okay, so your downline section, this is what we're gonna go over tonight. And I just kind of want to run through some of these filters. So whatever you filter here, you all. Okay, whatever you put in these boxes here, once you run the report, like that's obviously the data you're going to see. Okay, so page size, this is how many will show on your report. I always just put it up to 500. You know, if you have a team of 20 people, you're fine with 25 showing on a page. I just like to see everything on one page. Then you can pick whatever month you want to do it for. Little trick, if you want to do it for multiple months, you click the first one, you click control on your keyboard, and you can click several. We're just going to do it for 1 month right now. Now down here, I don't really change the ranking order. This is just how the report's going to show. I don't really use the active reps only. You could click this to make sure only active reps are showing on your list. Now this is for QPV. This will, if you say, I do this once a month and I will do like $999 or for the maximum. So minimum PV or maximum. I do that because I want to run a report to see everybody in my back, not everyone, my first level, that has sold under the $1,000 commissions for two reasons. Like I want to message them if they're under the $200 to let them know they're close to getting a commissions check. I want to message those that haven't hit 600 to let them know they're close to a free website. And I want to message those that are close to 1,000 to let them know they're at that, almost at that 8%. If you're kind of wondering who hit a 3x4, you could, do a minimum of 3 recruits added this month. So just a few different things like that. I am just going to leave it blank to run it because there's no data in this back office. But another one I do a lot is I do by specific level. So if I just want to see the reps on my first level that have sold something this month. So let's say, they sold over $100, I would put a minimum of 100 and 1 for my first level. Okay. I know that's not going to run anything since this back office is blank, but say it did. That's just one way to filter. Then you can also filter by rank. So I can look at all reps. I can look at all directors on my team. I can look at all directors just on my first level. Okay. So you kind of get the idea. You're using this to filter what you want to view on the report. Now, I also like to run this sometimes by April 1st, the first day of the month. This is the entry date of the rep. So if you had a new rep start on your team today, you could run this for today and it will show you 1 rep added to your team. So it's just going to pull everybody that was added from the first date you add here. Okay. So if you ever want to go back and go, how many did we add in March? You could go March 1 to March 31st and run it. It's going to show you how many new reps were added to your team last month. You can also do by name, and I don't really use the email or phone. But then down here, it lets you change the sort order. I usually leave it like this, so I know like the very first rep I added on is going to be first, and it's going to go down from there. Not right now. But there's other sort options. So this is the stuff Robin's talking about. You can go in here and kind of see how it works for you, how you want to view these different things. You can run it by their commissions, their PV, to see who has the highest PV on your team that month. That's kind of how Mariah runs those reports. I'm just going to run it for one thing. So I want to show you how the filter works for representatives. So if you get down here, you can run it by the state and all of that. So I'm going to name this filter as reps, just reps on my team. And then over here, it lets you, this is going to save as a filter. So I'll show you what happens after we run this. But once you run it, it's going to show how many reps are on this team as a representative. Obviously just 1 because it's a fake account, okay? But if I go back to Downline over here, see over here, now we have a filter for all reps. And you can click load and it will load it over here. Rep is going to be already checked for me. And then, so next month when I want to go run this, I just click that button and change my month to the current month and run it again. This saves a lot of time. So I'm going to show you mine right now. This is stuff I have in my back office. I have a couple girls going for goals. I'll make them their own filter. I have one for first level for me. I have my team leaders. That's everyone that's a junior rep and above, because that means they have a team. I have one for directors and above on my team. Less than $999. So at the end of the month, I can tell which girls are close to their, commissions or free website. And then I have a team builders one, which I don't use that often, but it's pretty much people who have enrolled someone. I just have a start date of, or I have what is that one? Recruits. I would have anyone that has 1 or more recruits is a team builder that month. So you could run it and see who added someone to their team. Okay. So let's see, I wanted to show those. And then I was going to go over a little bit. So when you see this, after you run a report, I just want to talk a little about these icons. Anytime you see a 0, that's you. That's your level 0. You are level 0. And then if this person had a team, let me show you a little on mine. So I'm level 0. And then it's going to show, it's going to show 0.1 for your level 1s, 0.2 for your level 2s, and just keeps going down. And at the top of your report, I ran this for my entire team. So at the top, it'll show you how many reps you have. I actually run that every day to know how many reps are on my team every day. And I'll chat a tiny bit about that at the end and why I do that. But this will just show you everybody on your team. So then if you click on these tools here, so you can email just that one person, you can email that entire team. Now, if I wanted to look at just and I don't really want to show numbers, obviously, because I did not get permission, but if I want to look at Lexi's whole downline and just email that team. Did you see how I hit that arrow? Now I'm looking at just Lexi's team. And maybe I'm trying to help Lexi rank or Lexi go for a goal. I can just email her whole team. Now you can see how many it's going to be sent to. And I can do the same thing I did with my customers, but just for Lexi's team. Okay. That's kind of how I can dig into different teams on my team by just looking at their downline report. Then it lets you just go back to, let's see here. I think it's because I don't have it out far enough, but it usually lets you go back to the report. But then I was going to show you these different things here. So you can email them. Then you can also look at their address, who their sponsor is, what their rep ID is, all of that stuff if you click on that. So if you ever need that to send out a little gift to a customer or to a rep on your team, if they rank, you always have their address and their phone number there. And then the pie chart. The pie chart is what I use the most. When you click on this, there's 4 reports. Okay, the first report shows personal volume by level. This is for your entire team. So if you are clicking on your own pie chart by your name, you are going to see the volume for each level on that person's team. So this person is level 0. If they had a team, there would be a level 1 and what that person that level sold, a level 2, and what that level sold, and so on. And the bottom would show the whole group volume. So if you have someone on your team going for director, this is the report you're going to want to pull all month long. Okay, because you're going to be able to say, all right, Savannah, you have $5,000 as a team, and it's the middle of the month. You guys are on track. Your level 1 has $1,000, and your level 1 needs to have $2,000 to hit director. Okay, so this is going to show the entire team. So if I have a girl, I'm going to go to her name and pull this report. Okay, a couple of these reports are more personal reports. So like, again, if I'm on myself for that month, I can click party statistics and it will show how many parties I've closed. There's not going to be anything here for this one. And then promotion and demotion history. I can show that on myself for you guys to see that better. Oops. Okay. So like party statistics, I don't know if I ran it for, yeah. So last month I closed 10 parties, okay? And then promotion, demotion history. This is kind of cool to see, you know, when they started their rank, when they ranked to junior rep and senior rep and director and so on. So you can see that as well. And then the last one shows volume over all time. So this shows my volume since I started all the way up to like when I very first started. And at the very bottom, it shows my lifetime volume. So that's a way to shout out your team. If they are wanting, if you, at the end of the month, you want to see what that person has for lifetime volume, you can go to this report. And I will show you how to export it so you can see everybody in one place, okay?
So if you have somebody on your team right now that they already have sold $10,000 lifetime personal value, you need to put that bug in their ear. You've already met your director numbers as far as your personal sales. Like now let's start building this team. And so you'll reach director. So I use that report a lot for that reason.
And one way to see it, so when I was also looking like several months ago when Robin and I were talking about ranking and double zigzag and what it meant and who those girls would be, I went and pulled this report. And so this is my whole downline. I didn't put any filters in this report. If you want to export it to see real data so that you don't have to go into these pie charts for every single person, okay, what's our lifetime personal volume? What's hers? You click this Excel button. Did you guys see that? It kind of happened fast. Let me do that again. This Excel right here, it's the X. And it pops open as a screen. It lets you save it to the desktop. And I'm actually not going to open it. I have a fake one kind of saved for you guys. When you open it, I deleted my girls' names off of this, but it shows the whole downline report, okay? So I have an example one here just to kind of walk through with you guys, but it shows demographics, where they live, what their rank is, the birth date, who their sponsor is. But the important stuff's kind of over here on this side. So it will show, and if you're ever wondering what these initials mean, if you go to company files in your back office and click on pay plan, there's a glossary in there and it explains all of these, okay? But so like here, level 1, this is level 1 directors. So this example person has 3 level 1 directors. Their level 1 volume for the month was 2,000. Okay, and we will get back to this one. This one's an important one. their qualified personal volume for the month, that what they sold was 7,500. Their downline volume, this is what their team sold, was 75,000. This is the one for lifetime volume, all personal volume. That's what that means. So at the end of the month, beginning of the month, for the month before, I will run this report and I will sort it by amount right here. So I will just do a data sort, and then I will go to that APV column and put largest to smallest. So then anybody that's over like 5,000 and then 10,000 and whatever your shout outs for milestones are, you can kind of see who hit them that month all in one place and do a shout out for them instead of pulling reports in your back office one person at a time. And then it also shows you, this girl's at 9,000. Does she know she's close to director lifetime volume? You know, $1,000 next month, she'll have her lifetime volume. She just needs to get her team to sell the 10,000. Okay.
Now, can you let somebody in?
Yeah. So, yep.
So you did QPV there, right?
Qualified personal volume is just for that month. APV is all lifetime volume.
Thank you for clarifying. Okay, awesome.
Yep. Yeah. And then another nice thing is the promotion column. You will also see this in your downline reports when you run a report here. It shows all the way to the right. So I don't know if you can, over here, it'll say promotion, yes or no, after the month's over. So since I pulled this for April, it won't show, but if I pulled it for March, it would say yes or no for a promotion, and it'll be blue if they promoted. So you could run your whole downline report and see if they promoted this way also. But the other thing I wanted to show you guys here that I look at all the time is the party count. So PTY, C&T count. So this person here closed 10 parties last month. But if you click this whole, like this column header right here, so that AA, if you click right there, it's selecting every single party on my team all the way down. And then if you go down here at the bottom, I hope you guys can see this, the sum. So that's all the parties added up for my team together is 300. So my team had 300 parties last month closed. It's not an exact science. Obviously, girls don't close parties and VIPs, or they might get sales other ways, or, you know, maybe don't close parties that they had last month. They're still open this month, but that's how Zaya kind of tracks. And to know that your team is growing, you should be knowing what your team has for parties from month after month. If that party count's going up, that's a good sign for your team growth. And you can go back and run this for 6 months. Go back to January and February and March, run it 1 month at a time and export this report to see what your team is doing. And you could do it mid-month to kind of go, are they on track, you know? Another thing with that party count, I use it a lot because it can kind of tell you where you are at for ranking too. So say you're going for senior director, because a lot of you guys you've all hit director, obviously. So let's pretend in March, your team volume, your whole team sold $10,000. And when you do this party count right here, you had 20 parties total, okay? So we're gonna take your team volume of 10,000 and we're gonna divide it by those 20 parties. So your average that your team is making in a party is $500. That's just how you can kind of estimate how much your team is making per party. Yeah, some of them were 1,000, some of them were 200, maybe one was 2,000, but the average is 500, okay? So that's your party efficiency. That's what Sam Higginson calls it, your party efficiency. So if you're going for director or senior director, what do you need in volume? 20,000 in a month, right? So if we take 20,000 in 1 month and we divide it by that 500, because your team's averaging $500 in sales per party, you need 40 parties that month to hit senior director. Okay, so you should be doing a booking blitz. You should be checking in with your teams to see how many parties they have booked. How many do you have that you need to make up the difference? I know not everyone's good at math. I can write that out for you if you want. But it's pretty much your group volume divided by your party count for that month. That tells you what your efficiency is. Then whatever goal you're trying to get to, you want to divide it out by your efficiency to see how many parties you need. Message me. I will absolutely help you with that if that makes it easier.
So Savannah, why don't you, when you're done here, go back out and then show them exactly how you got into party count for the month of March or for the month of April.
So like export it?
Yeah, so show them again how to do that and where to get that number.
Okay, so that was my report, and I will show you my report again, but I will just click, so downline report. If you don't set, and I'm going to set to March because we're going for last month, we're not going to set any filters down here. I'm going to take that off because if you don't have any filters, that way it's going to show your entire team in the report, okay? Run downline report. And then you hit the Excel button, this little X up here. When you hit that, kind of asks, it didn't ask me to save it, but you see it's right here. It's asking me to open this report. Sometimes it'll ask to save to your desktop. So I'm opening it. And it's going to pop open another one, just this fake account, okay? So then you scroll all the way over to PTY CNT count. And then if you click this column header, it's going to select all of the cells. So I'm going to do it on this one because it actually has numbers. It's going to select all the cells. And Excel averages and counts things for you. So on this, the bottom of this right here, it says the sum, which is the everything added together, is 300. So my party count for my entire team in March was 300. Okay, so I write that down at the end of the month to know, okay, I want more than 300 next month. And it kind of helped me to know what we needed to add last month to be able to hit double I exact. Sorry, guys, I can't control those dogs.
You're okay.
So then the other thing I wanted to mention is that and Robin told me this, and Sam Higginson had a call with us on it too. Hold on, let me see if I can get my daughter to go get those dogs. Oh, maybe they're going to stop. Okay, they told us to go over every day and do your group volume. So at the end of every day, actually every morning when I wake up, I open up my back office, I run my downline report to see how many reps are on my team. Doesn't always change a lot. You know, when there's months where there's incentives, sometimes it does. But I just look at that number and write it down to see how many I have on my team that day. And then I look at my group volume and I write that down. I literally do that day after day after day. And a lot of people will tell me, like, what's the point? Like, that data is not helpful. And you'll ask my first level girls when they're going for a goal, I'm like, well, how many parties did you have last month? And what was your group volume? Because we need to calculate what you need to get this goal or that goal and to rank. So, like, I know it's hard to see, but so every day I write down my volume. And when you get closer to ranking, it helps to know on a Monday, my team averages $1,000. On a Wednesday, my team averages $5,000. And then, you know, I can look and say, last month I was at this amount. This month I'm at this amount. Okay, I'm behind. I'm ahead. Do I want to push out an incentive to my team? Is there a reason for it? You know, and Robin and I have talked about this. Sometimes we used to just push out incentives to push out incentives, but do you feel your team needs it for volume, or do they need to be enrolling reps this month? You know, there needs to be a reason behind doing it, not just doing it blindly. And data can help you with all of that. So that's something I do every day. And at first it doesn't really change once you're like, why am I doing this? But I've been doing it since probably last August. And it really, you can see the changing in the numbers, and you can see it really helps you plan out for your team, for you, for them, for their goals, all of that.
I have a question.
And
maybe I'm doing this wrong, Savannah, but so if I decide on the 15th of the month that I want to do an incentive, like a 1 by 1,000, add a rep and sell 1,000 by the end of the month. As of right now, in my head, I'm understanding that I need to write all those numbers down to see if they sold 1,000 from the 15th through the end of the month. Am I wrong? Is there a way to calculate that in our back office?
I wish there was. I would export an Excel sheet and save it. I wouldn't write them all down.
Okay.
You know, so I would, if today's the 12th of the month, I would just do my downline report for my entire team, or if it's for your first level or whatever, for first level, I would go to, where's my little,
Right there.
201, and it's not going to pull anything since this is a test account, and run it. And then I would just save this Excel sheet. So then at the end of the month, I could pull it again. And Robin, maybe I can sit with you sometime and show you how to do this, because I in my head know how to make two spreadsheets link, but it's not something I could really teach here. But otherwise, then you have that number, and then you have the report at the end of the month, and you can go, okay, she had 1,000 and now she has 2,000. She added a rep, and at the end of the month, you could just pull the report by, like, you could add a filter that shows anyone that enrolled a rep at all.
Sure.
Then your spreadsheet would be smaller and you wouldn't have everybody on it. But I don't write them down. I just pull a spreadsheet, save it, and deal with it at the end of the month when I pull a second one. Because I agree. I like the incentives where I can just pull it from my back office and you're not doing all that manual tracking.
Right.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions?
You have her now. You take advantage. She knows it all.
Mom, you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
Okay, then I'm going to ask another question. So
Yeah.
will you go back to the filters? My question is, can you change those filters, or do you have to set them up each month, or do they remain there and you just adjust the dates? You may have touched on this.
Yeah, they remain there. So here's my back office. And if I click on Downline Report, it's going to pull in anything I already have here, and you can load it. So when you load it, it's going to default to the last month you did it. So you just have to change the month. So if I last pulled, like, I don't feel like I've pulled this Team Builders one in a long time. See, I haven't pulled it since December. So it defaulted to December.
Okay.
I just have to change it to April and I can run it again. But the way you save it is when you get all your filters set how you want, you go down here and you name it. When you name it, it will stay in there. Once you pull it and go back to your downline report, it will be there. And you can always delete it. If you change something on it, just copy the name. Like, if I don't always feel like if I change a filter here, if I don't actually touch this field again, it resaves it. So like, I feel like I have to retype the name into this field to overwrite the filter I already had. Like if I were to add some random filter up here to it, but no, it'll save from month to month. You just have to change the month you're running it for.
So when you guys are going for executive, you're going to be required to have 2 directors on your team. And so if you work it the way Rob and Eddie works it, you are constantly going in level 1, finding that team, clicking on their down arrow, diving in, looking at their numbers. So I can see where this is going to be so helpful.
So like when Lexi was going for executive, I literally had a report called Aubrey because she was the last girl that needed to hit director. She's on tonight.
Yeah.
And so my filter was, I don't even think I had anything but her name right here. And I would run Aubrey like over and over again. But yeah, if you want to, like you could do, you would have to set it for the directors, because for executive, you can't run it for, like, say, Lexi, and she has 2 directors on her team. Like there's not a filter for how many first level directors somebody has. But yes, you can definitely run it for people's names. I did that last month as well.
Sue Miller is asking, could you please go over setting these filters to have it come up and be saved, please?
Yeah. Okay,
I'm with you, Sue. I had to see this done a couple times to get it.
Okay, so I'm just going to click my downline report, go back to, so let's just make one up. What's something, maybe I'll just do like how many junior reps are on my team. So I'm going to click April for junior rep, or the month of April. And I'm going to go down here. I don't care what their volume is. I just want to know how many junior reps are on my team right now. Okay. So we want nothing in our levels, because I don't care if they're on my level 1 or my level 5. I just want to know how many junior reps are on my team. That is it. Then I go all the way to the bottom right here, save as filter. junior rep. That's all. And then you run that, and it's going to show me there are 9 people that are junior reps on my team. Okay. Now, if I go back to Downline report, I now have a report over here called junior rep. That's it. You just have to label at the bottom when you're done making your report.
Awesome.
Saves a lot of time.
Yes, I can see that. Can I get that time back? Anybody else have any questions?
When I did this at base camp and you said, I didn't know that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of time you probably spent.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, you know now.
I know now.
Yeah, are there any other questions? Wait, what? That is, yes, Lisa.
This is being recorded, you guys, and yeah, watch it again and just play around with it. You can't mess anything up.
No. And you can always delete it if you're messing around and you want it, like, I'm going to delete this junior rep one, just delete it.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, if there's no more questions, I will get this video uploaded and hopefully posted tonight, if not tomorrow morning. Savannah, Cease, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom and your knowledge. We appreciate you.
No problem.
Thanks, everybody, for hopping on.
Good night, guys.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye.